Hey guys, what's up? I'm coming back at you with some GTA footage, but this is more or less just going to be a story time about the past couple days that I've been kind of dealing with some pretty hardcore BS. Now, as you've read from the title of this video, it's pertaining to Walmart. Now, that being is the fact that me and my fiance have worked for Walmart before. She's worked for it once before, and I myself, I think about 2 to 3 times. Now, granted, it's not the best job in the world, I know, but times be hard. Now, in saying that, she goes and she fills out the application online, all the whatever, and she was told by the application process that she had failed the testing part before, they ultimately decide whether or not you get a job. Now, what's funny about that is, I think about last week, sometimes she receives a phone call from personnel, and they tell her she's got orientation, she has a job, they gave her a job offer. They even told her where she'd be working in the store. And what's funny about it is the fact that at this particular store, me and her have had run-ins with a manager named Shannon. I won't give her last name, but I will at the very least give her first name because I don't care. But Shannon is somebody that we've sat here and we've had pretty bad happenings in the past with. Like, she kind of goes out of her way to screw with people at her job if she's in a bad mood. That type of manager. But Shannon sits here and calls my fiance and tells her that they're revoking her job offer because of past work history and attendance. And what's funny about that is the fact that we haven't worked for them for over 3 years. I don't know what the policy is on that whole attendance thing, but it's not 3 years. 6 months, I know for a fact, all your points drop off and you're able to apply for the job again. And I'm pretty sure it's a personal matter between us and this manager. And what I also find funny is Shannon is the front end manager of the store. She's not personnel, so I don't really understand why she would be calling and making those decisions anyways when it's not her right in the position that she's in. Now, I go up there, me and her have a conversation that's pretty heated, but it doesn't really go beyond any more than just talking, and she can't speak to me about her, application process or whatever the fact, but, I pretty much put a word in her ear about, going to somebody over her head about it, and that's, that is what it is, but, yeah, no, my girlfriend gets told she has a job, and then it's revoked by the manager that we had just so happened to have issues with. Kind of sounds a little fishy. Right, that sounds weird. And this is also coming from the standpoint of this is a company that will literally take, like, for an example, when I worked there, I used to be a cart pusher, right? There were moments in time during, like, summer, the cart mule, it's being the machine that pushes the carts behind us, I'm sure you've seen them, would go out, wouldn't work. And we were told for months to push by hand in the summer. There were times where we were told to do this and we weren't even provided with water. Yeah. And I want to put this story out there because I don't really care who uses it. I don't really care if anybody uses the audio from it. There's a guy that I watch on YouTube. He's a much bigger content creator. Camelot 331, I think it is. If I'm wrong, my bad. But yeah, even if he sees this and he sees the video, I don't care if anybody uses it. I don't care if anybody quotes me. But yeah, no, the fact of the matter is I wanted to tell this story because it's straight up manure. Like, something I also found funny about the situation is my girlfriend at the time of her leaving the company, she was put in a situation to where there's a point system. And my girlfriend had found out a few days beforehand of her getting fired that she had a 3.5 millimeter kidney stone, if I'm not mistaken on the size of that. But granted, it was a pretty large kidney stone. And she was, needless to say, in pretty bad pain. And they told her to go home. Even though she had informed them that she had no more points, they said it would have been alright. They just chose to fire her anyways. And when she went to go put in her 2 weeks, because she knew that they were going to fire her over it. She knew. Everybody knew. Me, her, the friends we talked to that were working there, they all knew that they were going to fire her regardless of them saying that it's alright, you can go home, it'll be fine. So, the previous work history and work ethic thing, that really doesn't apply, and it kind of kills me that corporations like this can get away with that dumb bullshit, which, hey, I'm going to actually go and do my own research and call people that are over, Shannon's head, and I'm going to see, what can be done about it, because at the very least, I'm kind of at the standpoint to where, something needs to be done about it, something, should be done about it. And, that's just, it is what it is. I mean, it sucks, but, this is pretty much why people don't want to work for Walmart and work for these shitty-ass companies. Little on that, there's another story I wanted to share, and this is kind of relating back to some other stuff I had said on my other channel about having a person in my family go through some health issues that they didn't really pull out of. My uncle, at the time of me working for Walmart, had found out he had 2 tumors in the back of his head. And, I'm going through and I already know what it's going to be. It's going to be a struggle trying to get them to understand. And I have one manager along, that was pretty tight-knit with Shannon. That was working there, is no longer working there at the time, but I was told that I could use bereavement to go see him before he had passed, right? I was told this by the manager walking down a hallway, dead as day, and then when I go back, they ask me what's going on, what's happening and stuff, and I told them he probably doesn't have long. And upon saying that, the manager who had spoken to me previously and told me to use bereavement said that was supposed to have been used after he had passed, when I had made such a big deal about going and seeing him before he had passed away. But the minute it came out of my mouth that I wanted to go see him before he had passed, it was like I was talking to 2 people that didn't speak English. Like, they didn't understand the fact that I was wanting to go see him before he had passed instead of going after he had died. And I was pretty much, it was like pulling teeth to get them to understand. And the fact the whole time this is going on with my uncle and a few other family members that had passed at the time, including, closely knit to my grandfather passing as well, they wanted to like be as difficult as they possibly could be. Like, the fact that I was trying to go see some relatives that were no longer going to be living anymore was a really big issue, when it's not, and that's ridiculous. And just, it was a laundry list of things that was wrong with this particular manager and the entire, manager staff. There were a few people that I knew that I was cool with that were managers. Like, for an example, I had some dental work done. I had a tooth pulled that was causing me some pretty bad issues, and anybody who's ever dealt with dental pain knows how bad it can be. It's one of the worst pains I've ever had to endure in my life. And upon saying this, it being the middle of summer, me not able to really drink water like I was needing to, I was told that, well, can you still go outside and work? Well, I can't consume water like I need to, and even the dentist that told me this said it's probably not a good idea. Like, you're physically capable of doing this, but given the fact that I had just had the tooth pulled, they were still wanting me to go out and work, this particular manager. So, yeah, no, I think fully Walmart should have, like, some kind of, hopefully in the next couple years or whatever, somebody will get the guff to sit here and have a lawsuit out on them or do something about it. Something needs to be done. Like, they did this thing to where they cleared out their managers a few years ago, and they actually fired managers that were not actually that bad. So, I mean, needless to say, that probably needs to happen again. But, you know, it's a dirty corporation. They're going to do what they want to do and, you know, damn everything else and damn everybody, right? But, yeah, a little bit of a story time. If anybody's watching, thank you for watching.